Welcome to April, everyone. This month, our theme is on self-identity, who we are, and how we show up in the world. We are a constantly evolving human. And we often think about when we start to bring in this concept of self-identity, or when we start to think about who we are now, there's often this conversation of me before loss and me after loss. Many of us have different ideas on this and have changed our experience and our insight around it over time. For me, it is still something that can catch me off guard once in a while, or I find myself frustrated, even in tears in some moments, where I think of that version of myself or how I remember myself years ago, decades ago, before loss, and the way I approach things, the lens that I was looking at situations through, and how losing Marshall and going through this kind of huge life-changing event puts different glasses on, or a different lens for me. And I've also come to feel gratitude for it. There's kind of that two sides of the coin, right? Or that two sides of the stone. And that depending on the day, it's okay if it's flipped one way or the other. The idea, I think, is coming to a place where we know that we can turn it, that it doesn't have to stay stuck on one side forever. This month, we want to take little pauses and explore different ways through some fun little activities, through some polls in the community, through articles that we'll be sharing later in the month on what it means to tap into ourselves. How can we sink in and settle into that? Are there areas of our life that we want to explore more right now? What are we feeling called to nurture ourselves, to explore new ideas that we have, to honor ourselves, our grief, our love, and the dreams that we have for the future. Coming soon on the 11th, you'll get a new guided meditation out. We are doing the Zodiac series all 2023. So if you've missed the first few, you can find them in the community at any time. And the new one will be coming out soon, so stay tuned for that. That is a great way to spend 8 to 10 minutes taking a deep breath, getting in touch with yourself, just taking a pause and a mental break if you need, and then getting the benefits from listening into what the wisdom of the stars and astrology has for us each month. Later in the month, I will be out in Banff in Canada at the Rocky Mountains, speaking at a female physicians conference. It's really exciting to get to do the Snow Globe of Reality exercise with both physicians, and then a couple weeks later at the 4th annual Bereaved Mother's Day retreat. So all of us, whether we have lost a child or not, we all go through things in our lives that end up kicking us off of our feet and put us in this position where we often feel, I love the analogy of a snow globe, you've probably heard me talk about it before, but having this idea that these things shake us up in life completely, our entire life. And though things may be glued down, though there may be things that look the same or familiar, whether it's our home or our vehicle or our job or whatever it is, but we feel differently inside. And we may be feeling like we're tossing and turning all the time. And so part of this exercise is not only about isolation and that the things that turn us upside down in our life, but also exploring on how do we become grounded in ourselves again? How do we tap into that? So for those of you who are interested in learning more about that, the entire exercise and an entire video going through this all is always available as part of the Carry With Me program online. And I also offer an opportunity for anyone who wants to do this one-on-one. Reach out, you can connect with me at alana@carrywithme.com, or find me in the community if you're interested in exploring that for a small group you may have, or one-on-one to look at that. The Bereaved Mother's Day, as I mentioned, it is a beautiful, beautiful opportunity coming up May 7th, hosted by Lisa Price and team at Bereaved Together. And it's my 4th year participating. I did a little Instagram live the other day about it, and it's something that I want to continue to participate in every year. I will be speaking there, sharing that snow globe exercise. I will also be hosting all of our online friends, so I will see you there. And I will be participating in the sessions as well. And I can guarantee you there is something for everybody. There is a mix of mind, body, spirit. There's a mix of movement, writing, just reflection time. And some of you may recall Megan Sanvey, who's done some beautiful breathwork sessions in our community. She will be joining live and then online for us joining virtually at the end of the day to help us just sink in and release anything that we no longer want to hang on to from the day, to give thanks and, tap into and listen to the things that really resonated with us during the day. So if you have any questions are about the conference, reach out. I'm happy to answer anything from my own experience or put you in touch with somebody specifically. And tickets are on sale for that until the end of April, around April 22nd. So make sure to check that out. There's lots of information in the community and on social media. A few more notes about the community this month. The reconstruction, what we'll start to see first happening now is some of the side groups. So when we started this idea of all of these different groups that were going to be these wonderful places as placeholders, or as basically a living room, if you think about it, a breakout room for people going through different types of loss. And so we had created a number of different categories, everything from stillbirth to SUDC, accidents and illness, miscarriage and infertility, sort of a very broad range of groups. And I know many of you have joined into some of those specific groups. What we're going to be doing is actually closing down those groups for now. What we learned is that each of those groups needs a leader, needs a structure, needs a bunch of people contributing to sort of get those things in momentum and going. And so we're going to reevaluate that for now, because what we found is we want to create that hub in the center. We want to create that curation of content and those opportunities for people to connect with one another. We can still put in our profile information if we want to identify different types of loss that we are part of, to connect with others and find people that way. But what we're finding is that the groups were really quiet and confusing, probably for many of you new joining who had joined up into a group and are looking for a little more. So if you have any questions about that as well, please do reach out. We'll be putting some more help documents together. Topics is another part that has changed on the back end. So all that means in the front is we used to navigate under some big broad buckets of content, and these were topics. So we had one for members, we had one for celebrating, we had one for sharing, and we still have those. You can still search by them, but they are now hashtags. So Mighty Network has created a new way of searching that is really tapping into the search bar itself. So if you're looking for something, a great way to find it without any navigating or folder structure is to just go in to search, start typing the words you're looking for perhaps the article title, the date, something in the content, and it will start to surface things for you that way. As I wrap up our little hello, as we step into April and our month on self and self-identity, I invite you to not only think about the ways that loss has maybe shaped you in your life, but to also make that mental list, or if you want to sit down and actually write it, to think about the ways that the love has shaped your life, and maybe the ways that you're viewing the world differently now. It's nice to reflect a little bit about how we are seeing things and thinking about the impact that it has on us. Because we often think that our experience is, far in the back, or maybe we're not paying attention that it snuck up into the driver's seat, whether it's been leading through fear that we can thank for trying to protect us and then kindly ask to move on, because it's our resiliency that we live. We haven't been taught it, we live it by breathing, by taking steps forward, not moving on, but we grow and we evolve. and we get to redefine who we are. You get to redefine you. Happy exploring. I will be here with you, and I hope to connect with each and every one of you throughout the rest of the year. Please reach out in the comments, share your stories, share your articles and resources, share your child. Enjoy your spring. Consider what you're nurturing, consider what you're watering in your garden as we enter in this time of planting and seeds and growth, and consider what might need some weeding. All my love. Take care.